I am Magnus, and I will be sharing short stories about comics and art. Hi, during my years of collecting, I have sometimes came across bit odd items that I'm not sure how to categorize. But today, on this episode of Magnus Collects a Magnus, I want to show you some of them. Here's an old gold key related item that doesn't show up too often. A Halloween costume, mask for Dr. Solar. You clearly see the green skin he had in the gold key days. And a costume, very concentrated on Dr. Solar images. Continuing with the gold key related items, here's an obvious bootleg with a little miniature collective cards for Magnus, just printed on the simplest kind of cardboard. I would guess they are of Filipino origin. And talking about bootlegs, I have these slightly more modern ones. I have absolutely no idea about where they come from, but just printed on photo paper, so I assume they're not very official. Thought I would show this. It's just normal comics, but they are from the very early days when Voyager, the company behind Valiant, produced commercial booklets. And there's things that were handed out to retailers and to dealers at conventions or just sent as Christmas regards. This was a handmade limited edition holder for the first card set. They also sent out beer bottles. I haven't tried the beer, and it's definitely too late now. But two of these were sent out as Christmas gifts to dealers, artists, or just general friends of the company. Were planned to be 6 of them, but it ended up with just those 2. They also made a 3rd year anniversary video cassette. And talking about their anniversary, I thought these were fun enough to show. I've also gotten hold of some of the awards and award nominations that Wizard handed out. This one for the outstanding #1 rated collectible comic book, Harbinger 1. And also nominations, favorite cover and favorite supporting cast character. I like this copy of New York Times with an article about the new started Valiant Entertainment. And I've been talking to my man Dinesh. For promotional items, it's not obvious which ones are to be considered odd or not, but I think they have shown quite a lot of imagination in many items. Well, here's just a big box holding some prints and comics, and also some tokens. But there are items that are a lot more imaginative that I simply have not been able to acquire, like an axe and a dinosaur claw. Among the more normal items, I have a tie, glasses, a countdown clock for the release of the Harbinger Wars, and after April 3rd, 2013, it stopped counting down and just showed the time, and amazingly enough, it's still showing the time. Acclaim had these voyeurs where you could see kind of half-secret upcoming scenes in their books. Magic ball, of course, for Dr. Mirage. This one for PSI-Lords. Some mixed items and a coffee mug jacket. There are really very many items, both that I have and don't have, that could be shown, but I think this demonstrates the variety of promotional items. Here's some mixed cloth prints. I think my daughter picked up some when she was an intern at Valiant. And then there are some that were used at conventions. Don't remember after which I picked up this one. But the last one is obviously from the New York Comic Con 2007. This printed banner was also used at a convention, but from the beginning it was used on their website, and slightly breaking the theme, I'll show you original art for it. Also from an early convention, here's a suit that an actor walked around on the convention floor wearing. Also one for Legion. And I'll finish off with some standees, which are always a funny way of marketing. And also original art for this last standee.